welcome back to Honey, I Shrunk the Kitsch. Today I'm going to show you how I installed carpeting in my dollhouse. There are several different materials you can use for a dollhouse carpet. In the past, I've used felt, I've used flannel, I've used velvet, and I've even used a washcloth when I was trying to make kind of a loop textured rug. But my favorite material for dollhouse carpet is this lizard fleece. It's a little bit stretchy, but not too much, and it has just enough fuzz that I feel like it makes a pretty realistic pile. This is the exact fleece I used. I bought it at Joann's back when Joann's was still in business. You can see I bought the ivory color, which is pretty close to my kind of ivory beige carpet that I have in my actual home. And another thing I like about this product is it's fairly easy to clean. I'm not planning to throw my dollhouse carpet into the washing machine, but it's nice to know that it's easy care. So if I do need to scrub up any spots or spills, it won't be too hard. I'm also going to use contact paper. I have a lot of leftover white contact paper from other projects around the house. It really doesn't matter what color contact paper you use as long as it's not going to show through your fleece color. Since I have white contact paper and ivory fleece, I'm just going to use that. Other supplies you might like to have are a cutting mat just to protect whatever surface you're working on. And of course, you'll want a fairly decent pair of scissors. Since we will be cutting through contact paper, this is not a fabric scissors project. But just any good sturdy pair, even kitchen shears would work. So here's my trick for getting an exact template for the layout of the floor, especially if you're working in a dollhouse that's already been constructed. Maybe like me, you're remodeling an older dollhouse that has a room with a lot of different angles and different corners like this one. I'm going to take my contact paper, I'm going to lay it out in the room, and I'm just going to run a finger around the edge. Take your time with this, really feel for the edge. I'm working around the built-in bookcases here and also the front edge of the dollhouse and really getting into the grooves. And I'm even going to take this out, cut the edges that I've already marked, and fit it back into the dollhouse, and then move on to the next edges. I'm taking some extra time to get in the grooves around the door moldings and around the back of this staircase to make sure that when I trim it, everything is going to lay completely flush. Once everything is trimmed, I go over it one more time and it fits like a glove. So let's move on to cutting out our carpet. Now you probably noticed as I was laying out my contact paper template that I had the backing side up. That is because we are going to stick the contact paper directly onto the fleece, and that's going to give it a stabilizing effect. So I'm just carefully pulling off the edge of this paper backing, and then I am going to smooth it down onto the fleece. Because of the way my template is shaped, I chose just to peel off the paper backing from the smallest section and lay that down first, and then continue peeling and sticking the rest of the sheet. Depending on the layout of your room, your mileage may vary. It might even be easier to just peel off all the backing at once. This combination of materials is pretty forgiving, so as you're smoothing things down, if you need to peel up the contact paper and smooth it back down so that everything is straight, you can absolutely do that. And once you're happy with how everything is laying, of course, you're going to cut out your fleece right along the edge of your contact paper template. And here is the finished piece all laid out in the room. Now, if you are like me and your carpet is going to cover up some tape wiring and some electrical work that you have done, I strongly urge you not to glue down your flooring. Instead, let's use some double-sided tape. I've used a dozen different kinds of double-sided tape before. They all work pretty much just as well. But this is probably my favorite, this Scotch double-sided tape, and you're just going to take off a piece, put it on the edge, try to avoid taping directly over any electrical tape or wiring. get it right on the edge, and smooth it down. Now that this is taped down, I know that this carpet is not going anywhere unless I really need to pull it up to see the electrical. And even then, because the contact paper is stuck onto the fleece, it's not going to stretch out of shape. I'll be able to tape it right back down afterwards. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this tutorial, I hope you'll hit like and subscribe so you can follow along on some more mini DIY projects. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you again soon.